Welcome back again. In this video segment I will start to create the geometry for lesson 2. On the screen is the completed geometry for lesson 2. In a moment I'll start a new file and create the geometry from scratch. Just a reminder, x0, y0 is the lower left corner, the center of the grid. Let's get started and create a new file. I'm going to move up to the top left corner and click on the icon for new part. Now, this particular lesson we're just creating geometry, so we don't need the toolpath manager on. By clicking Alt O, that turns it on. I'm going to click Alt O again and that hides it. Let's get started with the geometry. First thing we're going to do is create some lines. So I'm going to move up and select Create Line and then slide over and pick Create Line Endpoint. Now the first prompt, specify the first endpoint. What I'm going to do is on the left hand side I'm going to click in the white space for the X value and I'm going to input 0 and then hit the tab key and we're transported over to the Y value. I'm going to type in 0, hit tab again. Now here we are in the Z, nothing to change here. I'm going to hit the tab one more time. Now the prompt changes to specify the second endpoint. So again I'm going to click in the white space for X. I'm going to input 0 and then hit the tab key. For the Y value I'm going to input 3.0 and hit the tab key. Nothing to change in the Z, so I'm just going to hit the tab key one more time. And there's our first line. It's shut off the screen, but we'll fix that up with a bit of zoom and panning. So up at the top I'm going to click on the fit icon, slide over to the right and then click on unzoom 0.8. What I'm doing now is hitting the right arrow key on my keyboard just to move this line over to the left. Everything's looking great. On to line 2. Now look at the prompt, specify the first endpoint. What I'm going to do is move the cursor over to the endpoint of the first line and you can see the visual cue for endpoint. I'm going to click on this point. Next I'm going to move up and click in the white space for X. I'm going to input a value of 3.0. I'm going to hit the tab key and here we are in the Y section and I'm going to input 3.0 yet again. Hit tab and we're over in the Z. Nothing to change in the Z value, so I'm just going to hit the tab key and there is line 2. On to line 3. Now as we did before, specify the first endpoint. I'm going to move my cursor to the end of this line and pick it. Now prompt, specify the second endpoint. I'm going to click in the white space and I'm going to input 3.0 for the X value. I'm going to hit the tab key and here we are in the Y. I'm going to input 0 and hit tab. Nothing to change in the Z. I'm going to hit tab again and there's line 3. Okay, on to line 4. Specify the first endpoint. So I'm going to move down. There's my visual cue for endpoint. I'm going to pick on this point. Got it. I'm going to move up into the X value. I'm going to input 0. Hit the tab key. 0 one more time. Hit the tab key. Nothing to change in the Z. And hit the tab key. And there it is. Looks great. I'm going to move up to the ribbon bar and click on apply. We're done here. I'm just going to move over to the right and click on the OK. Let's do a screen fit. So I'm going to move up to the top of the screen and click on the icon for fit. Just going to slide over and click on unzoom 0.8. And there's our first 4 lines. Next thing, we're going to create a couple of chamfers on these 2 top corners. So I'm going to go up into Create Chamfer and select Chamfer Entities. First thing I'm going to do is set up the distance. So in the white space for distance I'm going to input 0.25 and then hit the tab key. That takes me over to the style. If I open up this drop down, there are the various styles of chamfers that we can create in Mastercam. It's set to one distance and that's exactly what I want. Just moving over, you can see that the trim is turned on, which is great. Now I'm prompted select line or arc. So what I'm going to do is move over to the graphics screen. I'm going to pick this horizontal line. Now, select line or arc, I'm going to move over to the left, and there's my preview of my chamfer. I'm going to pick this line, and there's our first chamfer, and it's just in cyan turquoise at the moment. So what I should do is click on the apply button. Looks good. Let's move on to the next chamfer. Going to pick line, this horizontal line at the top, and then slide over to the right. There's my preview. I'm going to pick this vertical line. Everything looks great. We're done with chamfer. I'm going to click on the OK. And there's our part. It's looking good. Next up, we've got a couple of fillets to put in at the bottom of the part. So let's go back into Create, Fillet, and Fillet Entities. Now the radius is 0.25. Now it's already set, but I'm going to type it in 0.25 and hit the Tab key. Now if I open up the different styles, there are the various styles of fillets we can create using Mastercam. And if we just look over slightly to the right, the trim is turned on. Now on the screen I'm prompted fillet, select an entity. So what I'm going to do is go down and click on this left vertical line, slide on down and pick the horizontal line at the bottom. I'm going to carry on. I'm going to pick this line again and then move on over and pick this line. And there's our two fillets. We're done here. I'm going to pick on the OK button. Now that completes this video. Thanks for watching.